Hi there, it's me, Simone. I'm the Zen Mommy. And yesterday I made a video about empath relationships. Um, I'm sorry. I made a video about empaths, for people who have friends as empaths. Um, and that video kind of got cut short because, my husband had walked in the door. I heard him walking in, and I couldn't focus at that point because I just wanted to go greet him and stuff, and so I ended it kind of quickly. So what I want to do today is I thought of more things about that I would have added to that topic about empaths. I talked about having a friend, a relationship, a friend or a family member as an empath, but I didn't really talk about, which I want to talk about, a relationship with an empath, having an empath as your spouse. Even if you're an empath, okay, this applies to anybody who has a relationship and they know with their spouse and their spouse is an empath. It doesn't matter if you're an empath or not, okay? So I really feel like I learned a lot about myself after getting married and meeting my husband. He was an empath. He's the first empath male that I think I ever met in my life. And, I thought this was an amazing thing, to see. I didn't know the world was divided between empath and non-empaths. I thought everybody always felt what I was feeling. And it was very hard for me when I began to realize that all of this emotion and pain that I can feel, that these people can feel nothing. And they can feel numb, or they can treat you bad, and that really kind of tore me up, knowing that. And so I was so happy when I met my husband, and he was sensitive and empathic, and it has been wonderful. It has been wonderful to be with somebody that I know is really feeling me, that's really getting me, that's really vibing me. So on that hand, it is definitely a plus, especially if you're an empath. It's definitely a plus to have an empath. But also, it can be challenging as well. Because, see, a lot of times with psychic abilities and empathic abilities, it's hard to confirm what you're feeling because people aren't upright. They're not honest about what they're really feeling. And a lot of times they don't even actually know what they're really feeling because it's in their subconscious, because they probably have denied or rejected it and not gave that thought or feeling any attention. And so they could be subconscious. They could say, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. But subconsciously they're angry inside, but they are telling themselves, no, I am fine. But really, the subconscious is still holding on to this energy. And so a lot of times when you have these abilities, it's kind of hard to deal with people because nobody wants to admit it, whether they can admit it or not. I love you too! And so, problem that can occur, I learned this with, it's kind of like you can't get away with nothing, when you're with an empathic person. Like, I could be got up in the middle of the night, can't sleep, and my mind is on, I don't know, maybe I got triggered for some traumatic issue I thought about, and I was in a mood, I was in a sad mood, or I was missing, I was missing a family member, or whatever the reason, I'm feeling kind of down. And I will be walking, around the house, going to the bathroom or not. And when I walk into the bedroom, my husband would have been straight asleep, knocked out for hours. He'll sit straight up and say, "Are you okay?" And like I just smile because I know he knows what I'm feeling right there. And sometimes it's hard because I have to be careful of these feelings I am projecting out. You know, if I'm allowing myself to get in a low vibration and be kind of sad and depressed, it really affects my spouse. It really brings him down. It makes him feel like, you know, kind of like he has to fix the problem, or it just makes our, you know, him feeling a low vibration. So he always makes sure he always makes sure that we have to talk. We have to work this out, figure this out. He is not. He does not feel comfortable until we have kind of got to the bottom of these little empathic subconscious issues that come up. And a lot of times I also notice with being with an empath is, you know, he'll see, I'll make a statement and I really feel like I'm making this statement and I'm not, you know, angry, I'm not in a, you know, bad vibration, and I'm saying it calmly. But he will hear this statement and I'm like, he'll feel some subconscious energy that I'm not really calm about it. And we will argue. I will say, no, I'm telling you, that's not how I felt. That's not how I felt. And he was like, and he'll say like, Simone, he says, I'm an empath. I know what you're feeling. And then when I take a second and think about it, I'll be like, I was a little irritated about that. I swept it under the rug. I mean, I felt like, you know, it wasn't that big a deal. I wasn't really tripping. It'll go away, and you know, but so I had to take these things into consideration. Sometimes I'm expressing something, and this empathic person, what I want. So a lot of times we express what we want people to think about us and hear about us. But when you're with an empath, they can see right through that. They can see through the facade, the little thing you put up to protect yourself. And so going into an empathic relationship, you got to really think about that. You got to be a team. You got to be on the same page. And, you know, you got to discuss these subconscious things. You really have to, you know, take your awareness there. You have to become extremely aware of your emotions, your feelings, your subconscious feelings, your subconscious thoughts. Because if you don't catch it, your spouse will catch it. But the good thing about it is if you're a team, you guys just sit and, you know, just get to the bottom of like whatever the issue is. What is it that you're feeling? And what is it that you're saying, but you're not including some true feelings about it? And so it's really, really helped me to see a mirror reflection of myself. Like I felt like this is definitely the next stage in my ascension evolution is, you know, is bringing my soulmate, my spouse into my life and getting this reflection that is helping me grow so much. It's helping me heal so much. And so, anyways, it is a blessing, but we just have to be sensitive. We have to really, like I said, be conscious and aware of any shadow energy we might be putting out there. And when I say shadow energy, anything that you are any doubts you're having or anything you're kind of suppressing, or you're just kind of telling yourself, no, I'm not angry, I'm fine. But deep down, if something has bothered you, and you really have to address it. That's what my spouse always tells me is, you know, whatever it is, we have to address it right now. We don't want seeds to plant and then anything to, I guess, divide us apart. And so you have to really take a conscious step in an empathic relationship on this ascension journey as a creator God. And so I guess I wanted to talk about that. That was like one of the most amazing things I've experienced. And I think it's beautiful, you know, that when I'm upset or sad, that he knows that I don't have to say anything. And he notices it right away. He notices it too much. Sometimes I might be upset about something that I'm going through and I just don't want to bring him down. So I try to, you know, cover it up and focus on something else, but he can still hear it in my voice. He even could hear it in the way I do the dishes. Like he can tell when something is definitely different about my energy. And so, so I wanted to talk about that. Um, Empathic ability is a psychic ability, and a lot of times with psychic abilities, we're definitely reading, getting what you're getting. Like, don't ever doubt it. If you feel somebody, if you felt a certain vibe, don't doubt it. Even though if they say they're fine, no, trust the vibe you feel, because sometimes they don't even know that they're throwing that into their subconscious like that. So it has to be a conscious relationship. And just like I said in the other video, you cannot allow yourself to be getting into very, very low vibrations and depressed vibrations and not expect to bring your spouse down too, or the people around you. And you have to really watch out for becoming the energetic vampire too. Like, maybe you're subconsciously, you go down a lot because you like the attention it gives you. And you got to think about it. Yes, it feels good to get that attention. I mean, it is one way to receive the attention you want, but you're also becoming more of a parasite to a loving relationship. And while you're draining them, you're also bringing them down. And see, we have to team up. We got to lift each other up. We got to work together. We got to try our best to kind of try to have, to understand each other, have compassion for someone. And, imagine if, what if it was you? We could have all had many, many different experiences, good ones and bad, and it could have just been you too. So, just really show love to people who are empaths, and I like to show love to you guys. Thank you for watching, and please sign up for my email list. I'm starting an email list if you're interested in learning more about my vlog and this conscious journey of ascension. Sign up for this email address because I'm going to be doing sending updates and everything, and keeping in contact with you in case anything happens and I have to move my channel to a different platform. All right, thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.